Hello everyone, we've got a question here on probability distributions. So it says the discrete random variable d has the following probability distribution. So d can be 10, 20, 30, 40 or 50, and the probability that d equals d is k over 10, k over 20, k over 30, k over 40 and k over 50, where k is the constant. Show that the value of k is 600 over 137. So in a probability distribution, the first thing to note is that all the values have to add up to make 1. So we're saying in essence here that k over 10 plus k over 20 plus k over 30 plus k over 40 plus k over 50. That's what comes after, isn't it? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All of that's got to add up to make 1. So we can basically take k out of this as a common factor. So 1 over 10 add 1 over 20 add 1 over 30 add 1 over 40 add 1 over 50 is equal to 1. So let's get our calculator and work that out. So what have we got? So we have got here, okay, so let's have a look. So 1 over 10 plus 1 over 20, okay, plus 1 over 30 plus 1 over 40 plus 1 over 50. Okay, so 1 over 10, add 1 over 20, add 1 over 30, add 1 over 40, add 1 over 50 is, oh, that's looking really promising, 137 over 600. So in other words, we have got k times by 137 over 600 is equal to 1. So therefore we times by 600 and divide by 137, and we have that k is equal to 600 over 137 as required. So that's our part A done. Now, the random variables d1 and d2 are independent of each other and they have the same distribution as d. Find the probability that d1 add d2 is equal to 80. So when we add them together, they've got to come to 80. Okay, so what possible combinations could we have? We could have, one option is that we could have that d1 is equal to 30, which means that d2 would equal 50. So that's one combination. Another combination is that d1 perhaps could be 40, and maybe d2 would also be 40 as well. Another combination is that d1 could be 50, and that d2 could be 30. So those are all of our different kind of possibilities about what we can have. Now let's consider what's going to happen here. So if we have got the probability of d1 being 30 and d2 being 50, then that adds together to make 80. So if d1 is equal to 30, then that means that we have got k over 30 times by k over 50. So that's our one option, k over 30 times k over 50. What's our other option? Our other option is that they are both 40, so that would just be k over 40 times by k over 40, because we're saying here that d1 is 30 and d2 is 50. Here we're saying that d1 is 40 and d2 is 40. That's why I'm multiplying. And then the last option, as we can see, is that d1 is 50. So that's going to be k over 50 times by k over 30. So those are our options. And it can happen this way, or this way, or this way. So it's going to be this one, add, this one, add, this one. We're going to add all these like various options together. Okay. So yeah, let's see what that gives us when we work that out. So that is going to be, let's have a look. So we're going to have 1 over 30, so 1 over 30 times by 1 over 50. 1 over 30 times 1 over 50 is 1 over 1,500. And we're going to times that by 2 because we're going to add it together. So answer times by 2 is k squared over 750. So that k squared over 750 has come from that one, add that one, because it's k times k over that times that, k times k over that times that, okay? So, and those fractions, when you add them together, comes to 1 over 750. So it's k squared over 750. And then it's plus k squared over 1,600 there as well, because it's like 40 times 40. So 1 over 750 add 1 over 1,600. Okay, that gives us 47 over, so let's just write that here. So that is 47 over 24,000 times by k squared. And we know, remember, that k is 600 over 137. So I'm going to times that by 600 over 137. So 600 over 137, and just make sure to square that as well. Just get that into my calculator. There we go. And square it. And squared. Okay, there we go. So there we go. That is that, which when I press that is equal to 0.03756. Okay. Yeah, so let's have a look. So that is our answer, okay? So it is, if just to put that over here, so that is k squared times by 47 over 24,000. And that turns out to be 0.037561. Okay, so 0.037561. Give your answer to three significant figures. Okay, 0.0376, 0.0376 to three significant figures. Okay, so yeah, just to really quickly recap on where that's come from. D1 add D2 equals 80 can only happen when D1 is 30, D2 is 50, D1 is 40, and D2 is 40. D1 is 50, D2 is 30, okay? So these are the associated probabilities, and it can happen that way, or that way, or that way. So we basically just add all those together, which gives us this, add those two together, it gives us that, sub in the fact that k is 600 over 137, and we get this as our answer. All right. Now, this next bit I think is really tricky that's coming up in this next part of the question. So it says a single observation of D is made. The value obtained, D, is the common difference of an arithmetic sequence. The first four terms of this arithmetic sequence are angles measured in degrees of a quadrilateral Q. So we've got some kind of, oh my goodness, heaven knows what my quadrilateral is going to look like here. I mean, I'm just drawing some random quadrilateral like this. It's clearly not correct. But basically it says we've got to try and find the exact probability that the smallest angle of Q is more than 50. So we've got this quadrilateral Q, and obviously my sketch isn't appropriate there, but the four angles in the quadrilateral are forming an arithmetic sequence, okay? So what we can say is that they are like this. So those are our three angles within the quadrilateral. One is A plus D, the other one is A plus 2D, and the other one is A plus 3D, which clearly my quadrilateral doesn't represent that, but that's the idea. Now, what do we know? We know that the angles in a quadrilateral are going to add up to make 360 degrees in any quadrilateral. So we've kind of got this expression here that we can form. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, so we're going to say that 4A, and it's going to be plus what we're going to have. We're going to have 6D. 4A plus 6D is going to equal 360. So they've got 1D, 3D, 6D. So we can halve all of that. So it's the same as 2A add 3D is equal to 180. So what we're saying is we've got to think about find the exact probability that the smallest angle of Q is more than 50. Okay, so let's just consider different values of D. Okay, let's imagine what happens when D is 10. So when D is 10, we're going to have this equation here. It's going to become 2A plus 3 times by 10 is equal to 180. So we would have 2A plus 30 is equal to 180. So we would have 2A is equal to 150. So we'd have that A is equal to 75. So that would work. Okay, that's D is equal to 10 is a possibility. All right, so we can definitely have that. Find the exact probability that Q is more than 50. Okay, what else have we got? We could have, let's see what happens if D is 20. So if D is 20, our 2a plus 3 times by 20 has to equal 180. So 2a plus 60 has to equal 180. So 2a has to equal 120. So a has to equal 60. Well, that also works. Okay, so we're saying that D could be 10 or D could be 20. Because in that case we have a is 75, which is greater than 50. And in this case we have a is 60, which is also greater than 50. Let's have a look at our last combination. Could D be 30? Well, that would give us 2a plus 3 times 30 is going to be 90 is equal to 180. So we're going to have 2a is going to equal 90. So a is going to equal 45. Now, we cannot have this combination because a has to be greater than 50. So D cannot be 30. So D can be 10 or D can be 20. All right. So let's have a look now. What's the probability that D equals 10? Probability of D being 10 is equal to k over 10. Probability of D being 20 is k over 20. So it's going to be that one or that one. So the probability is going to be k over 10 plus k over 20, which is the same thing as 3k over 20 when you add those together. Okay, so we've got 3k over 20 is our possibility. And then remember, k is our 600 over 137. So when we sub that in, we find out that we get the answer is 90 over 137 when we sub in the fact that D is 600 over 137. Now, personally, I thought that was really tricky. Especially, we had to visualize this quadrilateral, form this sequence, form an equation from that sequence, and then try different values of D and see whether or not they gave us values of A that met the required criteria. We then, once we'd identified those, needed to understand that it could happen this way or this way. And then we needed to add the associated probabilities together. So I think, a very tricky question there. Okay, I hope you found that helpful. As always, if you could like and subscribe to the channel if you're finding these videos useful, that will help me keep on growing the channel and making more videos for you. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.